Our country's going to die.
Live on the Rob Saul show. Can you tell him stuff?
Hi, Rob. You stink.
Look at
you stink and you suck.
Who are you wearing today?
Who am I wearing?
Yes,
we're wearing green shag carpet.
Okay, all right, because we're doing it. We're not really here to.
What breed of dog are you f***ing today?
That's great.
Guy back here said you suck with your fire hole.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for talking to us, B Dabbler and Tiki. We're just trying to get some fashion going.
They also didn't like you.
You're listening. Yeah, like all the time I'm listening.
WATB with Christian, Eric, and Carl sometimes.
Listen in your office, in your car, or even your neighborhood bar.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're having fun. We're making it happen.
It's fun time.
Open your mouth, close your eyes. We're going to give you a big surprise.
And here it is.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to Who Are These Broadcasters at a special time on a special day. We are honored to be here to tide you over until Carl's emergency episode at 4 p.m. Eastern. That'll be wrapping up a hugely successful Dabblecon 2. But we have to address the most important thing in the room. Graham Wellington, I'm ready to see some great hair. He's not talking about this. He's, of course, talking about my buddy EZ. Eric Zane, how are you, sir?
Well, I want to say, first of all, that I appreciate that. It looks like you're really putting some effort into your hair these days, because and that's my job, to impress those in the my coworkers, people out in the public, to make their hair look good. And I'm trying to lead in that manner. So great job.
I learned it from watching you, Eric. I strive to be a better man, and I think that day by day, you are certainly helping me with that. It was indeed Dabblecon 2 over the weekend, and I just want to take a quick moment, congratulate everybody who helped put the show on, everybody on stage. The live stream was great and tremendous. And I now have bookmarked some scat porn, because you might not know this, Easy. They did drop in some scat porn because they knew that the stream would be sniped and it wasn't on YouTube, so they could play whatever they wanted. And not only did Quadfather get got by it, but so did Kevin Brennan. So hugely successful.
Is he still alive?
Barely. There's a pulse, but it's faint.
Boy, yeah, he's like the poster boy for high blood pressure. I've never seen a person who actually has a purple face most of the time.
Who the fuck is Eric Zane? This guy's an idiot.
You only got 5 people on YouTube. Whatever the fuck. You're going to die, dude.
Chris Tuttle says, working on your hair is like me practicing running with Usain Bolt. It'll only leave you feeling bad. It's true. I do feel nothing but inadequate comparatively to you. But again, we're just trying. So obviously, Dabblecon 2 was a success. The focus was Stuttering John Melendez. And as I mentioned, Carl will be doing an emergency episode, wrapping it all up at 4 p.m. Eastern today. And for those of you expecting the Creep Off to be on right now, I believe, don't hold me to it, I believe that'll be at 7 o'clock tonight. So you got a full day here on the Who Are These Podcasts YouTube channel. Whatever plans you had, you got to cancel them. Just sit here and watch YouTube the way that I do. I do need to address, we got this comment in from Willie Fitch pointing out that I challenged Stuttering John to an interview contest and it chased John off the internet. Good job, buddy. Yeah, I was going to save this for the end of the show, but obviously, if people want me to address it, I will talk about it at the beginning of the show. So we remember there was a clip where John said, I'm a terrible interviewer. I played it. I said, John, let's interview the same person. We'll let people vote on it. And apparently, John is so afraid that he's run away from the internet. No one's heard from him. He hasn't tweeted. He is not doing any shows. What's the matter? You scared, Duke? You barahoosa? So when he's back on the internet, I will reignite the fire that is me wanting to do the talk off with him. But for Eric Zane, it means we can take a break from it for however long he's gone.
And there you go. That's the kind of love we can expect on this show from Nova, who points out that this channel has 25,000 subs. And right now, Christian and I have 74 viewers.
Yeah, let's point out to Nova that people subscribe to the Who Are These Podcasts YouTube channel. This is not the Who Are These Broadcasters YouTube channel. Eric, imagine if we struck out on our own and we had our own YouTube channel.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, for my regular show that I do on my own, this is 3 times the amount that I get on that show. So I'm fucking happy. This is fantastic.
We've got 80 people right now, Nova. So we're excited. We're happy to be here. By the way, if we ever did strike out on our own YouTube channel, I think I would change the title of the show to Streamlabs, Venmo, PayPal, memberships, gifted memberships, Rumble rants, and that would just be what we did for the whole show.
Right on. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. So, right. Nova does point out we were at 80 a second ago. We are down to 72. That's all right.
Well, yeah.
We're doing our show at a different day and time, and I'm not going to lie. It's kind of about the same as we get at our usual day.
Sure. Time. Yeah, that's all good. That's pretty much par for the course.
And Hellraiser makes the point. That's twice more than Rob Saul. People watching the sort of pre-show got to see a great clip of Tukey interacting with Rob Saul on Rob Saul's live stream outside of Dabblecon 2. Thanks to my lost interest, who posts so many tremendous clips from around the Dabbleverse and Hackverse, and I was honored to get to share that my lost interest on our show. All right.
I'm sorry, before you go, this great question
from Sam, please. Yeah.
Eric, why did someone kick the door in behind you? Because it's true. If you look behind me, it's a telltale sign. It's a kicked-in door.
Yeah.
Well,
hang on for a second. I want to explore this because until Sam pointed it out, Sam, my friend from rehab, that we don't talk about it, but yeah, I want to. What happened, Eric?
Well, okay, I shut it, and I had started my podcast. This is probably 2 years ago.
Oh.
And I hit start, and there's the slate. It says show starting, and there's a countdown. And I closed the door because the dogs are in here. And I go take a leak. I come back, and I've somehow locked myself out of the goddamn studio. So I was like, well, I got to get in there. I mean, so I didn't have any other means to get in. So everybody's always wanted to kick in a door at one time in their life. That was my one time. So I did. I kicked in the goddamn door, and now the shit goes flying. And then I just never fixed it.
Have we been doing this show for more than a year now, and I've never noticed that your door had been previously kicked in?
Because I would intentionally make it so the camera was like that. That's how the camera always was. But today I forgot to do that, so fuck it. Now it's all fucked up, and everybody's laughing at me. It's just so embarrassing.
Oh, no. It's great. I'm glad that we got to show it to everybody. And I love a great backstory like that. America couldn't be happier with that. All right. So in addition to stories about Eric Zane and his tremendous hair, people are really just here for kind of one thing.
W-A-G-B, who are these bears?
I love that I had to send a grown man a list of jingles and stingers for this show. He then had to send it to another grown man. And on that list was, who are these bears?
Right.
And we always like to start with bears. And this is an entire Instagram account that was shared with me on our Discord. I forget who. It's usually Japanese Fart Enthusiast or Reverend Shitstain. If it's someone else, my apologies. But what I love about this bear video, it is largely visual, but we're going to be able to illustrate even bears know that Burger King is shit.
Sue. 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 Нет. Бургер.
Okay, so he's handing a fast food hamburger to him.
Хорошо, stop.
All right, let's take the bread off, easy. Maybe he doesn't like the bread. You want the fake cheese? That's a no from me, dog. Not interested.
Мясо.
You guys tried to force it into his mouth.
Oh my God, the bear's putting up his fucking paw saying, go fuck yourself.
No means no, Hunter. All right. Well, maybe he'll try and eat me.
Tom, держи.
He is licking his head.
Держи.
All right, just puts the burger patty into his mouth.
Мясо.
Oh my God.
Вот.
And then it's
неправильно.
Put it in his mouth and spit it out.
Том.
Не хочет.
Я не хочу. Нет.
One last try. It's been a bit.
Yeah, what a grand beast. I wish it bit his head right off. And it could too.
Well, this guy hangs out with that bear and films a lot of videos. And it does remind me of that film Grizzly Man.
Oh, yeah.
I hope one of this guy's friends or family have been instructed. If the bear ever mauls me, you start a Patreon and we start charging, because you cannot put enough of a price tag on there for me to say, no, I don't need that, because I'm there. I'm absolutely there. So
I wanted to jump in because we did forget to mention that the 83 of you are required to each give $10 If you find yourself I can't even say it with a straight face. If you find yourself entertained by this show, throw whatever you think it's worth.
That's right.
Our way. The highest dollar amount attached to a sign off for Christian, it's just that. If somebody gives us at least $10 and says something horrible about another ethnic group that you want Christian to say, he will do it at the end of the show.
That's right.
Okay?
My sign off will be the highest US dollar amount. I'm happy to do it, regardless of the contents of it. And yes, so if we ask the question, hey, how come we don't get more super chats? Oh, it's probably because dummy right here forgot to tell people how to do it. Thank you for remembering,
Exactly
Eric.
Right. Yep. And every penny of the money raised, we get. That goes direct. You will feel good knowing that we get every bit of that money.
Yeah.
To fuel our drug habits.
And yes, and I do want to start a side channel where I try to feed fast food to bears, and we'll live stream. So whatever happens is what's going to happen. So you can check that out. Well, all right. We've had our bear fill. Let's head on over to local news.
WATB, who are these local news? Who are these local newscasters?
Love that. I love that so much.
Yeah.
Hot and fresh.
I just want to drop some Molly and dance around with glow sticks in my hands all night and maybe wear roller skates and an airplane hanger in
You're
Vegas.
goddamn right.
So, Eric, our second video of the day is actually one you sent to me just this morning. This is a crazy dirt bike driver, I guess, dirt bike rider on some dunes. I don't know what else you need to tell me to go into this. Is this known as a place that maybe isn't the safest to ride around?
We have a lot of these areas where stupid people go in West Michigan.
Sure.
And these hill jacks get in their side-by-sides and their motorcycles. And instead of paying like child support, they end up buying one of these fucking things. And they ride on these sand dudes as fast as they can. Now, there's one particular spot where you have to have a spotter. And there's no directions like one way. You can just ride around. It's like Grand Theft Auto. You can do whatever the fuck you want. And this dude going up the hill at 1,000,000 miles an hour on a motorcycle. On the other side, there's a guy going up on a four-wheel drive Jeep car, SUV. They don't know that they're going to meet at precisely the exact time. Guy on motorcycle catches air and goes through the windshield of the truck of the SUV, and then he gets catapulted about 5 miles, and you can see it. It's the greatest fucking thing in the world.
This person in the chat, Soundboard, I think, wanted to point out that it's an ATV. I'm really only sharing it because it's that picture of John on stage at a bar in Van Nuys singing Roadhouse Blues. But Eric, you did a great job describing it. I don't think people are prepared for just what this looks like, as evidenced by, I think this is a 2-minute clip. I think they show it 5 times in here.
Yep.
So
a 21-year-old Rockford area dirt biker was testing his 360 camera 1 minute. Cartwheeling through the air the next.
He appears to be thrown similar to a rag doll being thrown across the sand.
I love the sheriff. It is similar to a rag doll being thrown across the sand. It's like, yeah, I mean, and look, the biggest surprise is that this guy survived it.
Yeah,
I mean, he's fucked up, but
he is fucked up.
But he did survive it. Yeah. So let's hear more about it.
The video to Target 8.
I shared that with you for a reason. I
That's
want
awesome.
people to be aware. And you just
quickly
can't
he
use enough
disappeared.
caution up there when there's that many vehicles, and the potential for speed always is there.
Mast said while there's no
Okay,
speed
can you
limit on
pause
the
it?
dune.
Yes, sir.
Those dunes, there's no rules there. It's like Mad Max. You can do whatever the hell you want. And they haven't policed it ever. They say, all right, well, if you get hurt, that's your own goddamn fault. So I mean, this is the way it is. This is incredible. I want to go there just to watch.
Oh yeah, just bring a picnic lunch and just sit there, and at some point somebody's going through a windshield, and you'll be there to see it. Just make sure you film it for this show, obviously.
and no directional rules in that spot, the dirt bike was going too fast, catching air as it crested the hill northbound,
Thank God
slamming into the windshield of a Jeep Cherokee about to crest the dune's backside.
He cheated death right there.
You think?
If he didn't
You know,
catch
if he were
air,
a
he would have
cat,
been
you'd say
dead.
he's down one life for sure.
Both drivers were injured.
I wanted to make
but
sure
they're
we
back
got to
home
this
and
part.
expected to make full recoveries.
Wow.
The dirt.
That's the most surprising thing. Both expected to make full recovery.
Right. Well, the driver, he got out and walked around. The guy who was in the vehicle, and that motorcycle went through his windshield and was in the front seat. And look at how the roof of the vehicle is completely destroyed. That is spectacular.
It's unbelievable. And I guess they point out later in the clip, we don't have to play the whole thing, but the sheriff is very hesitant to enforce any kind of rules. It's sort of what you were saying. He's like, yeah, I don't know if I feel like that's necessary. I just wish people would maybe, use their heads before they lose their heads.
Hamilton Berger says, in Canada, this is how we do medically assisted suicide. That is fantastic.
Yeah, very nice. I actually brought up the wrong one. Connor, I believe I can fly.
No.
Yes. So again, that's a video that we can have fun with. He had his spine was fractured, a concussion and other things, but he's expected to have no big long-term permanent damage. Joe Black, talk about crashing after a big meal. And my friend Raging Rhino, he didn't cheat death. Death said, I'm going to let your dumbass suffer for a while. Thank you, Raging Rhino. That's exactly what happened. Oh, you were about to bring something up, weren't you?
Thank you to Joe Black for the $2. He says Dabblecon 2 was a killer time. Standouts.
Cardiff Electric.
Mike
Morse, who did a great job at
Tukey.
the roast, and also the MC of the Dabby Awards. And Tukey, I texted Rocco. Tukey had an amazing joke that was more wrong than some of the pro roasts that I'd ever seen before, and I was very proud of him. I was honored to even know him. So it was great. People can still check it out. Dabblecon.live. You can see all that stuff from over the weekend. So I just wanted to make sure that we got everything in here. Douche of the Dabbleverse, if he's got something to say, I'm going to bring it up on the screen. I'm thinking the guy in the Jeep might have had the worst end of the deal. I agree. And not to get too bogged down, again, Carl has an emergency episode at 4 Eastern talking about Dabblecon 2. Mike Morris was by far the funniest one there. It wasn't even a close second. And Joe Black, you know what I was going to say about Joe Black's super chat? I believe that might be the first time that a Black has given us any kind of super chat money, Eric.
First one I've seen.
Yeah, as far as I can tell. Yeah. Yeah. Well, look, we have different goals, and that's one of ours. So that dude survived the crash we just looked at. Now I have another crash here, and I have to kind of give you the warning in advance. All of the good people survived this. The dumb fuck drunk driver who causes the mayhem we're about to watch, they were not so lucky. But because they're the drunk driver, I don't feel bad showing it.
4 times the legal limit to drive close. Other patients came to being run over.
Right through.
February crash.
So right through a waiting room of some kind. It looks like a doctor's office. You can see
it is a
lot of
doctor's
crutches.
office.
Yeah, there's a lot of elderly people. And look, you can be prepared in life. That's what the Boy Scouts taught me. But you can't be prepared for this.
Being run over during the February crash. The silent surveillance video obtained from an open records request with Austin police in the now closed case. In the chaos, Levi Bernard climbs over the car, searching for his 1-year-old son, Sonny,
who was
just
fine.
went through the windshield.
Want to make
sure. Nadia.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. You mean those two were standing there, and then when they got out of the way, they threw the kid in the air, and the kid went flying through the windshield?
Yes, but they made sure to tell us that the kid's fine because
no, he's not.
Wow. Look. He's let's just say the college fund is very robust right now, but
Jesus Christ, I want to see that part.
Well, that's where you and I part company. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Their other toddler seen screaming as staff rushed to help.
We're still very grateful to just be alive.
Yes, you should be grateful to be alive. And I couldn't believe this one. It was one that I saw on a Twitter account that I followed, And I was like, oh, I can't show this one. Oh, wait, only the drunk driver died. I'm listening.
Okay.
So, yeah. So everybody else is apparently alive.
What is all that water? It's like the floor is loaded with Coca-Cola. What the fuck happened there?
I don't know what kind of doctor's office this was.
I have so many questions.
I believe it's Conrad Murray's doctor's office. So there's a lot of Jesus juice left over from a past member of the clientele there. And Dr. Scotty Jones does point out he's got the 4-way flashers on. I don't think that those were put on intentionally. I think that somebody's head went through the steering wheel.
I will say this.
Activated that. Go ahead, Eric.
You notice that he drove through and he did kind of like, he could have hit those 2 or 3 people that were seated right there.
Yeah.
And he kept it in the right spot so that all it did was, that kid went flying through the windshield when they said he's still alive. I don't know if I believe that, but anyway, that's pretty good. That was pretty good driving skills for the drunk guy.
Dang Lizard points out Eric Zane might want to use more live leak footage. I think we'd have to think about where we do this show. Maybe we'd be looking for Rumble rants a little bit more often over there. It's been a minute since we've shown a Porch Pirate on our show, but when I saw this one, I was like, this is the most effective and efficient Porch Pirate that I've ever seen. So I just want to see. I want everybody to see. So here's the FedEx delivery guy. You see his truck back there. He's walking up. All right. You take a picture. Let them know it's there. He knocked on the door. Here comes the Porch Pirate. And he runs off the porch. And then the resident opens the door.
He just took the package.
Wow.
I sat it down and I thought I heard a movement. And
all right.
Fuck.
Do you think that this delivery driver was in on it? Because he just stayed out of the way. I mean, which is what I would do.
No, he looks too much like a fucking dork to do something like that. But that's unbelievable.
If you remember months ago, we talked about in Canada, they don't want you to show Porch Pirate videos because of the presumption of innocence. I don't know what we're presuming about anybody in that video. I guess I just cast aspersions on that guy, but the actual pirate, we saw what he did. I think it's okay to share that.
I don't understand why you would put your effort towards stealing something off someone's porch. I mean, the odds are it's going to be useless to you. It could be fucking dog medicine or something like that. I don't understand why.
He doesn't know what it is. It's not shaped like a flat screen TV.
If you're going to go steal something, just go into a store and take it. Get what you want.
Yeah.
Why would you do this?
As long as it's under $950, just walk out with it.
Yeah, who gives a
Someone
shit?
in the chat says they don't pay enough to be Superman. I did almost say super chat. Sorry. That's my inner steel toe talking. Sam Bibley says, when I was a Porch Pirate, it was a much simpler time, I'm sure. And at the top of the show, Louchy McDonald, we did point out that John did leave the internet because of me. So you're welcome.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. But I don't like that. I like the world. I like it when John's here talking shit about you.
No,
because it's the only time that he's right.
Well, look, I can't sue you for slander, as they say. And Dust Cloud, Christian, when did you start calling them pirates over monkeys? That's today was the first day. I believe. You didn't like that one from Dust Cloud?
Surprised you read that.
It's Dust Cloud. He's a friend. Maybe one day he'll give us $1. Okay. By the way, Douche points out that if I'm a delivery driver, catching bad guys is above my pay grade, not my job to stop criminals. And the Book of Toe. Jesus, Aaron Imholt right there. The robber could sue the driver for assault if he gets physical. Strange, sad times. Dustcloud, I don't need you to apologize, although I think seeing that comment on screen made you realize what you had just said.
Yeah, it's not your fault that Christian loves racist jokes.
Oh, okay, so now all of a sudden, 55 episodes in, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, now you like racist jokes, and Eric doesn't. All right, that's fair. Hail Aaron, yes, of course. We appreciate that. And he posted earlier, Book of Toe, every cent of discretionary income I have goes towards the goal.
Thank you.
Honestly, I appreciate that. That's very respectful to the almighty goal. All right. So, Eric, you know what a man is. You know the difference between a man and a boy. Do you know what a Chipotle boy is?
I can't wait to find out.
Let's find out together.
Who are the Chipotle Boys? They're the guys you'll spot at Chipotle during the lunch rush, dressed in their business casual attire. Despite rising prices and claims of shrinking portions, these Chipotle Boys are regulars, often visiting multiple times a week. Here's what people online are saying about the trend.
Sorry, I forgot I was going to read these. Boys really try one Chipotle order at 15 and decide that's enough for life. Overheard two 20-something women discussing the concept of a Chipotle boy. Apparently, a boy who eats Chipotle 5 to 7 days a week. The Chipotle boys are everywhere. I think I'm good like once a year, and then I remember why I don't eat a Chipotle. Yeah. Can you imagine trying to eat even twice in a week? We're not even talking 5 to 7. I can't imagine having anywhere near this much.
I'm too poor to spend that much fucking money on eating out, for God's sake. Fuck that shit. I'll just eat at home.
Well, that's another argument. I just don't like diarrhea that much. Right. It's just me. Here's someone who actually posted, I'm eating Chipotle all week. It's actually every guy between the ages of 18 to 28. Now, I know that Zane and I don't skew that young, but anybody who's even close to that, 35 to 40. Right. Is anybody in here eating Chipotle all week? Because that's the reason I shared this, is not because I think that this is an amazing story, but it's because I can't wrap my head around the concept of the Chipotle boys.
Exactly. I don't, the fact that they would, this becomes a thing where it's pointed out like, hey, look at this. So who gives a shit? My God.
I do love the comment up here, though. Chipotle boys sounds like a slur. And maybe that's the real reason that I'm sharing it, by the way.
It sounds like that's something gay. Something gay, no doubt.
And Dust Cloud with $1.99 to counteract the Porch comment earlier. Here's to the goal in repairing Zane's door. You know what? Maybe the goal should be to get that door fixed.
Well,
at some point in the near future.
It's interesting because last week I actually did do some work on it. It's down to, it looks worse than it really is because honestly, the hard work is over. I had to cut a couple pieces of wood. That thing's going to be fixed in probably 6 months.
All right. 6 months. All right. Well, let's get an update on each episode and how much more. How much more do we have today?
Well, I'm so goddamn busy. I don't have time to shit even. So it's like ridiculous.
Well, we appreciate you combining your shitting time with your who are these broadcasters time.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
We're honored to have you do that. Another local news story: a woman embezzled not money from the Illinois school district that she works in. So, an Illinois school worker was sentenced to 9 years in prison for stealing $1.5 million worth of chicken wings. Oh, and I don't know, Eric, you might see where this story's going. Vera Liddell, who is a fast food service head for 10 years at Harvey School District 152, took a guilty plea in the case before she received the 9-year prison sentence.
Oh, God, yeah, this has got Kumia written all over it. I move out of the way.
I'm not even sure. I may have seen this story on his Twitter feed.
Oh my God, yes.
So she started the scheme in July 2020 and didn't stop until February 2022. I'm sure she had, a conscience there, and then she realized.
Was the scheme, like it says, she bought up the incredible amount of poultry, used a school cargo van to pick up the food. Students never saw a single wing. Did she just sell food out of her car? Is that what she did?
Yes, she did. She used the school cargo van to pick it up and then sold it. I assume she sold it to restaurants. She didn't have like a little kiosk where she was cooking it up or anything like that.
You think she sold it to restaurants or on like the street?
I mean, I feel like I guess you could be like, hey, do you want a bag of frozen chicken wings? But I feel like you have a deal with some restaurants in the area. But
yeah, probably.
I didn't read that far into the story, but I do like the image of the chicken wings cooking up. She was charged with theft and operating a criminal enterprise in 2023. A school business manager found food costs were $300,000 over budget, even though there were still months left to the school year during a routine audit that led to Liddell's arrest. And look, if there's a way to rip people off at work, somebody will figure out how to do it. And,
yeah, this is how the fucking mob was built. I mean, this woman is her own mob. I love this. I you know what? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And God bless her. Can you imagine going to prison for stealing chicken wings, for fuck's sake?
Yeah, I've seen Orange is the New Black. I don't think that the inmates are going to be impressed that that's really, that's the one that got you in over there, was the idea of, I stole some chicken wings. Sorry.
That's fantastic.
But I'm proud of her.
So was Anthony's comment? I mean, I can only imagine what Anthony said about something like that.
I can't even allude to it. So I read that comment before and got the reaction I did. I'm not touching anything that I see on Kumia's Twitter.
Holy shit. The things he says, I'm like, God damn.
Yeah.
Funny. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's funny
Very
shit.
funny.
But I can't.
Funny,
I mean, but I'm with you. I'm like,
you really missed something at the Steel Toe 10th anniversary show over the weekend. If you find that funny, there may have been some chants that Aaron later had to distance himself from, but he was leading those chants before he realized that Patrick Melton had a spy who recorded it. So see, I'm bringing you up to speed on everything.
Wow, I like to hear this shit through you.
You should enjoy a little bit of it. Dust Cloud. Why don't you read that one?
Dust Cloud. I don't get this. It says maybe the Porch Pirates bought some.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if Zane knows what that means, but I don't know if I know. So. All right. Well, I've got a quick one here that it's mostly visual. It's a swarm of dragonflies invading a beach in Rhode Island, and it's keeping in theme with what we're talking about. It's just, you look around and there's dragonflies everywhere in the sky, so many of them, and it reminds me of kind of the scene of trying to swim in a public pool, but I feel like we've had too many comments like that already today, so I probably shouldn't have said that, Eric.
Yeah, way to lead him right to the racist cracks, Christian. Again, at the beginning of that bathing suit was riding right up that chick's ass. That's probably the most outrageous thing in this entire video. Look at that.
Oh, I hadn't noticed.
It is right up there. Yeah, that's a lot of ass. That's actually a nice ass. That was good and plump.
Yeah, occasionally our videos will remember the cop with the nice rack. Occasionally our videos are going to show something that you'll be interested in. All right, let's spend a moment over in the world of talk shows.
I said, can you dig it?
I think so.
WATV. Now who are these talk shows? Just who are these talk shows?
So a few weeks ago, we had a clip of Harrison Ford at Comic-Con just not willing to field some nerd's dumb question. And I've got another one of these clips that I want to make sure we get to before too much time goes by. So he's doing one of those press lines, and he's asked about the Wolverine popcorn bucket that was the tie-in for Deadpool and Wolverine. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry. This video will show you.
With the Deadpool popcorn bucket.
No,
would you like?
Well, I don't know if I'm not familiar. So they have these popcorn buckets that are kind of lewd.
Oh, cool.
And I'm just curious if you could pitch one for Captain America 4. Do you have any ideas for Mr. Kevin Feige? They're kind of supposed to be like lewd or funny or suggestive.
Let me look at it again.
The idea is you stick.
No, I don't think I can help you. But thank you for the opportunity.
I love him responding to dumb questions with just,
yeah.
Thank you very much. No, I don't think I can. let's move on now. I'm fucking Harrison Ford, for Christ's sake.
He's great. I mean, because and everybody knows he's fucked up when it comes to answering this shit. So it seems like that's not stopping them, though, to asking stupid shit. There is no one that exists that's actually going to ask him a question worth anything because of his reactions.
I mean, I would love to get one of those reactions if I get to ask him just one dumb question once. Speaking of dumb, you might think that the lady who embezzled chicken wings was the dumbest woman you were going to see on the show today, but you'd be wrong, because I'm about to show you a clip of a guest on the Fresh and Fit podcast, which I think we've featured before.
And I'm actually not dumb. I'm actually very intelligent. You don't have to be like smart in everything. I'm smart in my ways, and you wanted to say I'm dumb for saying that, but
okay, tell me an interesting fact.
Do you know why a gaslight comes on in a car?
Okay. Sure, go ahead. Tell me.
It's because it's a lie. Because if your car is giving you a gaslight and it's telling you, hey, we're about to run out of gas, and you still driving and you hit 0 miles, that bitch ain't gonna stop on you. So it's really just a form of manipulation. That's a fun fact.
Wait, what?
It's true.
Tell me you're
It's
joking,
true.
right?
No, it's dead ass because it's happened to me. It's gonna literally like turn off on you, but who knows when? That's why it's called a gaslight. We will never know. It's a lie.
Yo, can someone tell her? You know what comes on? To tell you to put gas in the car soon. What's happening right now?
So it's called a gaslight because your car is gaslighting you, Eric.
Oh, no.
It's pretending it needs gas. You know, it's, I don't know, like some uppity broad that tells you she can't pay her rent. So it would be great if you could maybe help her out this month when she just maybe bought a nice pair of shoes or maybe a new weave or extension or something.
What a painful existence. And I love that they let her go on about it before the one guy just like, you stupid fuck. Just let her have it, right? And then the look on her face, she thought she was so goddamn smart.
She's like, she put her glasses on. And she's like, oh, yeah, actually, I am pretty smart. You want to know something? All right, I'm going to drop some knowledge on you. You know why they call it a gaslight?
Holy shit.
Yeah, we do, stupid, but you don't.
My God, is that awesome?
I knew you would like that one. And well, let's move on from our existing theme that we've had throughout this episode, and we're going to have two white people talking on a show for maybe the first time this afternoon. We haven't checked on Stephen Colbert in a while. And by the way, programming note, Stephen Colbert is doing a whole week of shows from the DNC in Chicago this week. So something tells me that we might have a couple of clips. I want to thank Japanese Fart Enthusiast for posting this one in our Discord. Stephen Colbert was joined by Caitlin Collins from CNN, and neither she nor Stephen Colbert were prepared for the audience reaction to Stephen didn't even get to his point. He just in his lead up to a point.
Is there objective over there that you just report the news as it is? Oh, I know. CNN makes a. I know.
Is that supposed to be a laugh line?
I wasn't supposed to be, but I guess it is.
So even his audience in the middle of Midtown Manhattan, who, look, if you're sitting in the Stephen Colbert show, I'm pretty sure you have, I guess it's still called The Late Show. You have a certain outlook on the world. But even you were like, all right, that was a good one. CNN. All right, Stephen, come on.
So that's and who is she again that he's sitting
She's
with?
on CNN. She's a regular, I forget which show she does. I believe she's on in the afternoon or evening. Caitlin Collins. She's been there for a little while. She was their White House White House correspondent at one point. But fortunately, that clip leads us right into sweet, sweet politics. And I'm glad you asked who Caitlin Collins was, because I perfectly stopped that clip. I forgot they loop. And then next week it's going to start right in the middle. So
by the way,
I stopped it there. Yeah.
Before we continue, you have a certain outlook, Christian. That's your quote. Wow, that was a very polite way of saying you're probably retarded.
You might be, A redneck. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. So thank you. In any case, here's Caitlin Collins with an example of the impartiality that not only CNN, but she's known to share on the network, just listening to the guests and asking questions and not trying to correct anyone.
Caitlin, did you ask Kamala Harris why she's willing to serve as vice president for a man she essentially called racist and a segregationist? Have you or anyone else in the media asked Kamala Harris those questions, Caitlin?
Senator, trust me, I covered the Biden-Harris White House. We obviously have asked for her to come on, but my question is for you about this. Donald Trump's pick for VP once questioned whether he was America's Hitler. But Senator, before you go,
So she had to get that in there.
Right.
And it's true. I mean, it is something Jenny Vance said, but I don't know if you're on that side of the screen, I don't think you're supposed to be the one that points that out. But what do I know?
And what's perfect is there's that slight delay. And so she knows all she has to do is keep talking. Don't even give him a chance to respond to that. And it's going to get through unfettered. He's going to have no opportunity unless he jumps in and interrupts her and tells her to shut the fuck up so he can answer.
Yeah, no, he's going to say, Caitlin, we need to go back to that. So I just thought that I had a clip that was a cause. I had a clip that was an effect. I wanted to bring them together. Two great tastes that taste great together. I put the chocolate in the peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
So I mentioned the DNCs this week. And like me, Eric, I'm sure you're on the edge of your seat, just waiting to see what it looks like when Kamala Harris actually delivers a big speech to a bunch of people.
Okay.
We don't know what that looks like. We haven't really seen that.
Right.
But I do have a sneak peek for what we might be able to expect. This was at a rally in Pennsylvania over the weekend.
What our election is about. Our election is about understanding the importance of this beautiful country of ours in terms of what we stand for around the globe as a democracy. As a democracy, we know there's a duality to the nature of democracy. On the one hand, incredible strength when it is intact. What it does for its people to protect and defend their rights, their liberty, and their freedom. Incredibly strong.
Okay, Eric, gun to your head. What did she just talk about?
I don't know, and that's a problem. You can't take up that much time and be so goddamn boring.
Yeah.
What the fuck? The only thing
it's
interesting about that clip is the homemade sign made by the local fucking special needs class behind her. That's the only interesting thing there. Everybody and how fat all the women are up front.
They did a bus tour of Pennsylvania, and I believe that sign went with them everywhere. So,
that was bad. Say something. She didn't say a fucking word.
And look, I'm no map maker, but I'm pretty sure Pennsylvania's not shaped quite like that. I don't think that's actually the shape of this. But what do I know?
Tell you. I know it's long. Driving through it's a real bitch.
It's true. Yeah. Oh, you mean when you're in an RV that doesn't work and you have to drive through the entire state?
That goes doing 65 miles an hour for fucking 12 hours. Fuck me.
I think the girl talking about the Gaslight made more sense than what we just played a second ago. But let the chat decide.
Right.
So also this week at the DNC, we'll hear from her running mate, Tim Walz, who I did realize we've actually never featured on this show before. But don't worry. Here he is trying to out folksy JD Vance by making local references to Nebraska.
JD Vance knows one damn thing about Nebraska. He's going to be here next week. You think he's ever had a runza? That guy would call it a hot pocket. You know it. Every one of you in here know it. A damn hot pocket.
No. Okay. I don't know what a runza is, but I'm gonna guess
I don't either.
Probably looks like a hot pocket. But I think that JD Vance thinks of a hot pocket as like that corner on the side of a sofa. I think that's a hot pocket that he cares about.
I will say this about this guy.
Yeah.
Women love him.
Really?
Adore him.
I thought women liked hair as evidenced by you.
they love the comforting dad vibe he gives. He's like, it's that whole thing.
Are you here trying to point out that all women are broken? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I don't know what the fuck it is, but for some reason that guy's got it. People love that fucking guy. And I think it's because of that, what you just saw there, whereas Harris can talk for 15 minutes and you have no idea what the fuck she's talking about. This guy, he actually has some type of charisma. I don't know if he's worth anything when it comes to politics.
Yeah.
But I think I think he's attractive to some. I know my wife wants to bone that guy.
Really?
I'm telling you, she absolutely wants to bone that guy.
Is it a cuck situation, or you're nowhere in the state?
I don't give a shit. I can't even have sex anymore. My dick's broke.
I like that week by week I learn a little bit more about you, and sorry for your loss.
No, it's all right. I don't even give a fuck anymore.
I do understand the charm a little bit because I did dig up this older video of Tim Walz. He's at the Minnesota State Fair with his daughter, and let's take a look at the fun that they had there. Oh, I had it.
I was here out at the State Fair with my daughter.
Hope.
Every year we as a family do something old and something new. I get to pick something, a classic, the old mill ride, to do that. And then Hope gets to pick something new.
Okay. So this is to set it up. I do like this interaction with her. He does understand that, yes, Minnesota is a little bit of not a little bit, is a fairly liberal place, but you do have to speak to the entire state.
Yes.
I think we're going to go do the slingshot.
Which I don't know what it is, and they're keeping it from me. But then we're going to go get some food, corn dog.
I'm vegetarian.
Turkey then. And
Turkey's meat.
Not in Minnesota, turkey special.
I have to just, I like that line. I like when he's like, no. In Minnesota, turkey's what vegetarians eat.
This strikes me as a one-take thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think he just put up his fucking phone and these two pulled this shit off.
Yeah. Well,
it's not easy to do.
No. Do you think Kamala could do one take of doing something normal?
I think everybody wants her to fucking step down right away and let this guy be the president because she's a piece of shit.
There's a video that wasn't worth showing, but they stopped at a Sheetz convenience store yesterday, and Doug, the potential future first gentleman, got her a bag of Doritos. It was all very unnatural, but there wasn't enough for this show, I thought. But people can find that. But it does speak. This video does speak to the fact he does give off more regular guy vibes, which I think is what he's going for.
And we will go do some of those things and report back.
Okay. Well, here he is with his kid on whatever this slingshot is.
Oh my!
There he goes. Jumping straight up in the air.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, this guy. People love that shit.
Good job, Dad.
Oh, thanks, Hope.
My wife would eat his asshole just because of this clip. I can guarantee it.
I'm actually impressed that he went on and he actually rode that ride instead of resigning right before everybody started getting online to go on the ride. So good for him. I'm very proud of him for actually getting on. Your wife's not going to like that one, but don't worry. It's all right. It's for the people in the chat.
Hamilton says Walz. Looks, he gives us $2 Canadian. Says Walz looks like Dennis Rader, the BTK killer. He does not look like BTK, you fucking idiot.
He's got the same hairline and a similar build, but
it's a bunch of bullshit. He doesn't look anything like him.
Yeah. Although you could probably find a video of BTK, Dennis Rader, and a slingshot. It's just there's not going to be as much laughter as there is in that one. Well, if you didn't like my joke about Tim Walz, you're going to love this one from Tim Huckabee. Mike Huckabee.
She's been against Walz. She's finally found Walz that she likes. So this is as close as she's going to get to protecting the border. Tim Walz, not real Walz, Tim Walz.
Hey-oh!
Hey-oh! And there's nothing better than when somebody thinks something's a mic drop moment and it's not even close.
Jesus
it's like
Christ.
She she doesn't like actual Walz, but excuse me, she's got Tim Walz.
Right. When did
is
Huckabee
this thing on? Is this on?
He looks like he should be running a plantation in 1810. What happened to him?
He looks more like BTK Killer than Tim Walz does.
Damn, he looks like shit.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, he looks terrible, and Harris Faulkner is literally giving him nothing for his shitty joke, and she shouldn't. It's terrible. It's so bad.
That was bad. Really bad.
So, there's that old saying, Eric, that you don't know what you got till it's gone. And at some point in the very near future, we're not going to get any more beautiful interactions like the one I'm about to share with you, because neither of these people will be doing what they're doing right now. We haven't seen one of these in a while. Here's Peter Doocy asking White House Press Secretary Karine Paul-Pierre what he believes is a very important question. And I'm not going to lie, kind of want to know the answer.
How mad is President Biden at Nancy Pelosi?
You guys keep asking me this question. I think I've answered this question multiple times.
Well, he has admitted now for the first time in this interview that Pelosi is one of the Democrats who squeezed him out of the race. She thought he was going to sink the whole ticket. So how mad is he at her for that?
The president respects his good friend, former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, and I think it's mutual. And she also gave interviews, and I know you followed closely as well over the weekend. She made statements like preeminent president, among the top few to have served in this office.
Which is the kind of thing that you say when you sold somebody out and told him he has to resign. You're like, you can't run, buddy.
Yeah, there's no way she's ever going to tell the truth, and that's unfortunate. But can you imagine if she did? If she actually said, "Yeah, he hates her. He fucking hates her. He thinks she's a crazy bitch." And these people this is the end of the ride. Who gives a fuck at this point?
Yeah, and honestly, my thought is that even if she was like, oh, well, I don't think that she has, that he's taken her calls in a little while. You can leave it vague like that. You don't have to say, oh, he's really pissed at her. It's like, they haven't talked in a while. Instead, it's like, oh my God, they're still the best friends. They still have one of those best friends necklaces that you snap in half. He's wearing the beef fry side.
A mezpa.
Yeah, right, exactly. Mezpa. Speaking of Joe Biden, where's he been? We haven't seen him forever. It's been like a month since he's been on this show.
By the way, remember when he was trying to deal with COVID, he said, just inject a little bleach in your veins. He missed it. All went to his hair.
So look,
that was a while ago, wasn't it? That was like 2 months ago.
It was about a month ago. This was after he had stepped down. He wasn't going to run again.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's a little bit more recent than that, but it's not the first time. But I share it here because obviously, wouldn't you want to see he and Mike Huckabee do a night of comedy at the local Chuckle Hut?
Yeah, it's like you and I.
Yeah, I mean, people would show up for the two of them.
Yes.
But just for the name recognition. But look, that was a good night for old Sleepy Joe. More recently, and this is either Robo Shitstain or Japanese Fart Enthusiast. This one didn't go quite as smoothly when the handlers have to get in. Okay, so people are standing here trying to ask questions.
Yeah,
and he's definitely got that very familiar deer in the headlights, leaning on the podium, because if he doesn't lean on the podium, he will collapse. And people are trying to ask questions.
Has the U.S. beat inflation, Mr. President?
Yes. I told you we're going to have a soft landing. We're going to have a soft landing. My policies are working. Start writing that way, okay?
So he's ready to answer questions.
Okay.
But then we'll listen to some other voices.
And Mr. President,
anyway, thank you
so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So thank you so much. We gotta get him out of here.
Oh,
we gotta get him out of here quickly.
His head's gonna explode.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to. I think he's tonight at the DNC, and
because
the last time he was on CNN for a while, it didn't go quite as smoothly.
So all they have to do is give him a pep talk. Say, look, read.
Yeah.
Just read. You can practice. And then that's it. You're done. You are punching out after this. This is your last day of work. Nada. Nothing else.
Nothing after this. Yeah.
boy, I mean, I'm anxious. I'm always, whenever I watch him, I'm always like, oh, here we go. You know what I mean? It's almost like he's just like kind of like on a tightrope, and then it's kind of like he starts this. Oh boy, always weird.
Quick flashback to right before the RNC. Don Jr. describing his 17-year-old daughter in a way that would make his daddy proud.
Think getting makeup make me look sexy like you?
I think you look great.
Thank you.
His daughter's 17, so I don't have an opinion on what she looks like. But her dad just called her sexy on television.
Yeah. Well, you don't ever refer to your daughter at any age or time as sexy.
Unless she's a background actor in the film Cuties, then it's okay. But other than that,
fucked up.
Yeah,
so fucked up. God damn it.
Well, keeping it in the family, here we have Lara Trump talking about Kamala Harris being a DEI hire. And again, I want you to listen to these comments from Lara Trump about people possibly getting jobs they don't deserve.
Failed upward her entire career. Somehow we know why Joe Biden chose her to be vice president with him. He said, these aren't my words, these are his. We want to choose someone not based on merit, not based on their skill set, not based on the fact that they might be the best person for the job of vice president, based on how she looked, based on the fact that this is a woman, based on the fact that she was a minority woman. That's really gross as far as I'm concerned. I'm a woman. Do me a favor. Don't ever give me a position based on the fact that I'm a woman. Either I earned it or I didn't. And that's it. That's all I need.
Yeah. So she doesn't want any position based on the fact that she's a woman. The fact that she's fucking someone in the family, she would like a job. Yeah.
I don't want to go back, but I have to give credit for this one. We had the clip of Trump with the 17-year-old, and
it's Trump Jr. Yes,
Trump Jr. and Sam Bibley says, "Can we get Anthony to comment on the hotness of this minor? He's a pro." Boy, I'm not putting that up there because it's funny. I don't get it. Do you, Christian? I don't understand that joke.
Anthony does have a preference for the younger ladies. Missy B is, I believe, half his age. Sam Bibley, 17. She's probably a little old for Kumia. Never mind. That's the kind of stuff you could find at the roast of the Dabbleverse. If you go to dabblecon.live, there Kumia was there. He contributed over the weekend, but he was the subject of many jokes during the roast.
Of course, and he rolls with it. He's a pro. He knows how to laugh at that shit.
Yeah,
it's not his fault that chicks that are young like this old grizzled funny man.
Exactly.
Good God.
So there's a lot of fact checking going on around former President Donald J. Trump. I'm going to let Eric and our audience decide: are there lies being told in this clip?
One thing that got me, she said Kamala has one big advantage. She's a very beautiful woman. She's a beautiful woman.
The booner.
So I decided to go back and reread the clause. I'm not saying he's, but I say that I am much better looking than her. I think I'm much better. Much better. I'm a better looking person than Kamala. No, I couldn't believe it. She said, I had never heard that one.
God, does he crush? He crushes everything he says. He could be saying something that makes no fucking sense and people would lose their fucking minds.
I don't disagree with anything you just said. But neither one of them is my type. But I don't believe I could get hard in a room with Donald Trump. I just had to put it that way. All right. You can feel however you want about his policies and his policies. He's very funny, but I can't imagine. He's not an attractive man. Sorry.
No, it's true. It's true. I want to post this comment. It's ha. I just wanted to post that comment because it's a great comment. It's not at all because the picture on the profile is fucking stunning.
Do you think her dad describes her the way Trump Jr.'s dad describes his daughter?
Yeah, actually. I would say that that's possible.
Yeah, thank you for. Yeah, I would hope not, Christian. I'm just saying that you're giving me only two choices in that scenario. But someone who probably could get a little chubbed up in a room with Donald Trump. Oh, she says hi, Eric, as well.
Yes, look at that. I got a heart emoji. God damn it!
All right,
fuck
so
you,
now,
Christian.
So now this show's turning into the Stuttering John show. Someone who definitely gets a little chubbed up when he's in a room with former President Trump is low energy Vance. He's still out there, JD Vance, and well, he might be a little confused here, or maybe he's just as much of an idiot as people say.
Thanks to Kamala Harris' spending policies, the average new car costs nearly $50,000 a year.
$50,000 a year.
Okay.
For the average, it's not a high-end car. Look, I haven't bought a car in a few years, but the last car I bought was about 25 grand.
Yeah,
30. Yeah.
I don't think the average cost is $50,000. If you get a $50,000 car, that's a lot of fucking car.
But he's saying a year. So over the course, I'm going to do the quick math. Over the course of a 5-year loan, if you have 0% financing, that is a $250,000 car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tim Walz knows that a car doesn't cost $50,000 a year. So low energy Vance also had an unfortunate one-liner just yesterday on Fox News Sunday. Watch host, I believe this is Shannon Bream, watch her face after he makes his comment.
Giving Kamala Harris control over inflation policy, Shannon, it's like giving Jeffrey Epstein control over human trafficking policy. The American people are much
over human trafficking policy.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there was a memo when JD got that call that you're going to be my running mate. Ixnay on the Epstein guy. And I just for our visual audience, I'm just kind of reminding people that there is someone that JD Vance works for who's currently flying on Jeffrey Epstein's old plane. But, you know, that's...
I always loved Trump's response to that when he said, oh, yeah, I may have met him once or twice. Oh, my God.
There's conversations where he's like, and he loves younger women, don't you? You know, I wouldn't
be surprised if Trump put his dick in all three of those people on the same night.
The least likely would probably be Melania. So obviously we're digging up archival photos here. I do want to bring up one that, you know, Republicans have been upset about this notion of being considered weird. And there are definitely some photos of younger JD Vance that we can consider to be a little bit weird. So the Daily Mail unearthed a decades-old photo of JD Vance posing with 3 female classmates at the urinals of the boys' bathroom during his senior year of high school in Ohio. And there he is. I don't know what JD stood for back then, but honestly, this is some pro-trans outreach. Wow. I think that this is something he should really be proud of. But also, I don't know. I do feel like we should probably play a game here that we used to play in the early days of the internet. I'm going to go first. If I have to rank them, I am going to go 3, 2, 4, 1. That's the order that I would respond to these.
So left to right.
Yeah, going from left to right. Number 3 is where I see things. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go 1.
Okay, JD Vance. Sure. Yep.
4, 3, and 2. That's what I'm going to do.
So you definitely believe in the old Spinal Tap adage: the bigger the cushion, the sweeter the pushing.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Boy, your dick really doesn't work anymore. My only question is, did it ever? Well, yeah, you got kids. All right.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got one final politics clip here, and I had been looking for still photos of this, and then some TikToker went and posted a video that is going to have a compilation of what I'm going to say might be a little weird. Some of you might say, it's just kids being kids. Mommy's all right. Daddy's all right. They both seem a little weird. Well, surrender yourself to this next level weirdness as described by a TikToker.
Are walking around with cups of what looks like J.D. Vance's semen to mock Democrats who can't conceive children. Now, I know what you're thinking. Obviously, it was just that one guy, right? No, it was not just one guy. This is becoming a practice, apparently. Anyway, it looks like Republicans are really owning that weirdo label.
Okay, well, I think I stole that from her, but still, she's not wrong. And look, after ranking that bathroom picture, I just feel like I should say that, after a couple of pictures of Sam Summerale, yeah, I would. I definitely would.
Wait, can you explain what the fuck is going on here? What is the trend? Could you kind of hone in on that?
We'll go back to the pictures, which are people walking around at events. Like you can see this guy here.
Yeah.
And he's holding a container, one of those specimen containers.
Okay.
It has JD Vance's face on it. So
Yeah.
the idea is that his seed is potent. He has a family. He's not a childless cat lady. So
okay.
The idea is that he is their semen leader. Is basically what I think.
They like that. They're using that his jizz as a rallying cry because like you said, he's been all like, I think if you have a family, if you don't have kids, you shouldn't be allowed to vote or whatever the fuck you said.
Basically, yeah.
So that's kind of like the. But yeah, who is the person that says, I got a great idea?
Yeah.
Let's act like this is his cum and we walk around with it.
Honestly, the guy we're looking at right now. Yeah, that's the guy to do it. But then you have this couple here. I'm like, all right, it was definitely his idea. And, just these ladies just heard that there were vials of jizz somewhere. And they were like, all right, sign me up, But I'm not going to lie. It's a little weird. It doesn't dispel the notion of weird. But if we are talking about vast quantities of semen, well, it's time for Sportscasters.
Home of the hourly triple play.
W-A-T-P. Who are these sportscasters? Just listen and find out. Who are these sportscasters?
Before I make that transition, I feel like you were about to say something, Eric, before I hit the Sportscasters jingle.
Yeah, I want to know when we became a fucking lib propaganda show, goddammit. Christian, do you have anything to say for yourself?
No, but honestly, if there were people walking around with, Tim Walz's jizz, and look, this is the week heading into the DNC. So who knows what we're going to have. Yeah. And we're happy to be your one-stop shopping for me.
Yeah. You obviously didn't watch the first 15 minutes. We talked all about how we both wanted to guzzle JD Vance's jizz. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
You should look for the conversation about porches at the beginning of the show. Maybe that's the time to see. Look, I look for weird clips. And we find them, but don't worry. I feel like there's going to be no shortage of weird clips after the DNC. Anyway, speaking of vast quantities and qualities of semen, Haley Welch, the Hawk Tuah girl, she threw out the first pitch at a Mets game, and you might be looking at us right now. In addition to being a lib propaganda show, you might be thinking, this chick's fame is at 14 minutes and 58 seconds. Why are you talking about her? It's very simple. The highest watched episode of this show that we've ever done was the one where we talked about her. But also, I want to show her in her comfort zone, mid windup, with a ball in her hand. Throws it right to her friend.
Yep.
All right. Hardly a strike. And the chest ball.
Okay, there they go. Big laughs.
Big laughs. All
They are sweethearts. Everybody loves the fact that chicks who talk about sucking dick publicly are the sweethearts of the summer. Tells us how far we have come as a culture. Can you imagine in 1976, in between watching fucking Schoolhouse Rock or whatever the fuck, we got two chicks that are the front center who talk about sucking cock.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's fantastic. I'm glad, this is the timeline for me. People walking around with pretend semen, spit on that thing, look, all this stuff. This is a great time. I'm just so sorry that your dick doesn't work. You're really
I know
just
it. I
missing
can't.
all of it.
This would be a great time to have a functional cock, and I don't have one.
If nobody's going to super chat to try and help Eric fix his cock, I don't think they're ever going to.
It's beyond help.
Yeah.
My prostate is the size of fucking John's head.
So in the past, we've had compilations of bad first pitches. I don't think that one even comes close. And I'm not going to lie, I do like the little chest bump at the end. I had no notes on that moment there when they got together. I'm okay with that. But you might be surprised that the Hawk Tuah girl throwing out the first pitch at a Mets game was not embraced by everybody the way that maybe I embraced it. And some would say it's because it was camp day and there's a lot of, they do 12 p.m. starts a couple times in the summer and all the kids are there. I'm going to shout out an account I follow called Nick's Memes, who pointed out that the Mets honored the Hawk Tuah girl later in the game by blowing the lead. And that's funnier than anything I would have come up with. So I'm shouting them out and not taking credit for it. But some people were upset. Have you heard about this?
I have.
Eric?
I have heard about
Yeah.
this. Yes, I have.
So I go to my moral compass, Mike Francesa. And thanks to the great X account back after this, who chronicles all things Mike Francesa, who has a real hot, high energy take on this issue.
In the marketing or promotional department decided that it was a good idea to bring this girl in and glorify her and shine the spotlight on her and let her throw out the first pitch.
So what?
Which got them utterly destroyed from coast to coast. I mean, I've always stated this, that the worst things I hated was when something was so obvious to go after that it was like, a hanging piñata that you just basically, you took a bat and you hit it. It's no fun.
Oh. So the reason I let the clip go on as long as it did you hear the way he pronounced piñata?
Yeah, I know. I was like, wait, what?
I thought if talking about Mike Piazza. Yeah, that's what I thought. And then I rewound it. I'm like, nope, he's talking about a piñata. Look, there's a simple fix to this. If you're there and your kid comes home from camp day and they have any questions, you don't have to explain who Haley Welch is. You can just say, oh, she's in a video on the internet. You don't have to say, oh, well, she talked about the best way to give a blowjob. No one needs to tell that to anyone.
Right.
Even Mike Francesa, I don't think was prepared for that information.
TJ is in the dark because for whatever reason.
Yep.
The creep off is happening at what time today again?
I believe 7 p.m. Eastern. Vinny is not smart enough to get out of jury duty to let people behind the curtain there. So we were going to go on after the creep off. Instead, we went a little earlier. The creep off will be on, but also Carl's doing an emergency episode a little bit more than an hour from now. He will be doing a recap of Dabblecon 2, which hopefully everybody's caught up on that. But TJ, thank you for being here. Now give me a couple of dollars, you cheap bastard.
Yeah, throw some money at us, fuck face. You think this is fucking easy, you asshole?
Yeah, Eric's dick looks like the door behind him, all right?
No
so please
shit.
give him some money.
Yeah, you make my day if you gave me $2. My cock doesn't work, fuckhead.
Well, we've got a better clip seeing how Mike Francesa's former home, Sports Radio WFAN, responded to this. Here's Sal Licata is this gentleman's name.
Please have Aaron Judge and Juan Soto breaking records. Ruth, Mantle, Gehrig, and the Mets have Grimace, and now Hawk Tuah. Come on, bro, I can't take it. I cannot take it anymore. It's ridiculous.
It's a funny clip for this show, but it's exactly why I don't listen to sports radio.
Yeah, it's so bad. What a pile of shit.
Yeah. Well, speaking of pile of shit, everybody ought to feel like a pile of shit because Haley Welch did point out that she was there to sort of promote some work she's doing with a charitable organization.
About dogs like Buddy, go to vetdogs.org. Go give them poor puppies some money.
So it's an organization that provides dogs to veterans who maybe need companionship or some help. So that's why Haley was there.
Yeah,
okay?
Every time I've seen her, she's done something feeding people, feeding dogs. I mean, this chick, all she likes to do is go out on the strip in Nashville with her girlfriend, help people out and suck cock. Okay. Yeah. And to me, this is she's a winner. If you've got a person who's willing to express herself that way, that's fucking she's winning. She's winning right there.
Absolutely winning. And I know that her dad describes her as sexy. I feel like there's no question about that.
You know, out of all of this with her, because I'm actually think she's pretty cool that she's been able to pull this all off just because of her personality.
Yeah.
I do wonder about her dad. You know, he has to know. I don't want my daughter is traditionally, she tries to embarrass me by doing similar things like this, and it's nails on a chalkboard. I can't take it. So,
well, you're going to enjoy this video though, because I do have one more. It's not really sports, but because we're talking about Hawk Tuah, I've got a recent clip of her out here in Los Angeles. And when you consider why we know who she is, surprisingly, this is the first time she tries In-N-Out.
Just give me a hamburger with stuff on it. I don't want a real big one.
Yeah. Also, the first time I believe she said, I don't want a real big one. I just wanted to point
Okay, so now we're trying In-N-Out. I'm going to give it a 9. They kind of remind me of McDonald's french fries, but they're better tasting. They don't taste like ladybug piss. That's pretty good. That's good taste. They actually taste like a potato.
Oh, hello there. McDonald's. Tastes like a potato. Oh, hello. In-N-Out fries are disgusting. McDonald's fries are much better. The hamburgers are good, but those are terrible fries. So now I have to wonder, can I trust the mouth of a woman who tastes In-N-Out fries and thinks that they're better than McDonald's? So that'll close the book on Hawk. Wait a minute. All right. You're going to have to talk about this.
Thank you to KJ, the multi-talented, lovely young lady. KJ, everybody says, by the way, that I'm getting catfished. Throws $19.99 our way. Thank you so much. You are the clubhouse leader.
Thank you so much. That's going to make for an awkward sign-off. I have one more quick Mets clip. The only thing that would have been better is if this had been the game she threw out the first pitch. If it was one of their bark at the park days where you can bring your dog.
This time than he did the last. There's been a little more curveballs, but he has
this
a
dog
small
is
advantage.
just going to town on this hot dog.
A little chihuahua maybe eating a hot dog, which is pretty ironic. Hot dog.
But kind of hate that dog.
Yeah, it's also.
I don't hate any dog, but I hate that dog.
You hate that dog. Is it because it's too much teeth? Is that
too much
really the
teeth?
issue?
It's just my broken dick. It was even worse.
Yeah, it had the reverse effect there. But anyway, I thought that was a good excuse for that. All right. It's been a little bit New York centric, but if you hate New York, don't worry, because we've got Jake Paul trying to put the city that never sleeps in its place. This is during one of those, press conferences for his fight with Mike Tyson.
This is what it's all about for me, man. I'm a kid from Ohio. Hey, New York, shut the fuck up, New York. Hey, boo yourselves. Boo yourselves, New York. Hey, New York, New York, New York, you're just like Mike Tyson. You were good 20 years ago. Fuck you, New York. Fuck you. Dumbass Democratic City.
Oh, I love that. That's all right.
I've never been a fan of either of the Paul brothers, but I love that video. That's fantastic. You're just like Mike Tyson. You were good 20 years ago, but now you suck. Well, that would probably play really well in the city of Boston. And speaking of the city of Boston, I want to remind people of a clip we showed last week. So you might remember this, but we have Jaron Duran. I still don't know how to say this guy's fucking name, but here he is in the batter's box and he responds to somebody mouthing off at him. Okay. And I believe we all heard what he said. Yep. Okay. So since we showed that clip, he was suspended for 2 games. And Boston being Boston, the jersey sales for Mr. Duran are the most popular jersey in all of the Massachusetts, the New England area, even more than probably a David Duke jersey. So then you know that they really like that jersey. And it's largely visual, but our audio audience is going to hear after his suspension, he comes to the plate, and what do the Fenway faithful do?
Oh,
standing ovation.
They're giving him a standing ovation.
I believe this is the next night.
Wow.
And I say maybe half the fans right now are giving Adam a standing ovation.
You think?
Wow.
You think half the fans? Yeah, it's just like everybody.
That was fucking weird.
I
don't
mean,
know.
a little bit.
I mean,
considering why they're applauding him, it would make some people nervous.
I know. I mean, you do that when you like, I don't know, maybe rescue a puppy that's drowning, donate a bunch of money to a kid's charity, not refer to somebody as fucking F rhymes with Baggett. I mean, goddamn.
I'm glad you phrased it that way. Well, this is our last clip proper of the show. I've had this one for a few weeks. Robo Shitstain Mark 9000 shamed me into finally putting this one on the show. So a host named Kay Adams cannot handle how 49ers cornerback, I don't know, this guy, I don't know how to say his name, Diamador. He doesn't give a fuck about smoke detectors.
Is that your smoke detector?
Yes. I don't like. I didn't switch the batteries. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing it wrong.
Diamador, were you sleeping with this going like? Well, I don't understand.
I didn't hit switch so hard. I don't even hear it.
You're telling me you slept an entire night with that noise in the background? How many nights?
This has been going on since last season. It's been good luck. So I just let it go. Like I've been playing good so far the whole season. I just, I'm kind of.
Oh, she still wants to have sex with him.
Well, yeah.
Are you
I do
joking?
the same thing. No, I'm serious.
Where are you right now? Like where?
Santa Clara.
So she's getting ready to head over and change the battery.
Oh, yeah.
So she doesn't have to change the battery in her own handheld device.
You're in Santa Clara and you're there often, and you're telling me that you haven't changed the battery in your smoke detector in over a year?
Yes.
And you don't even hear that.
Like I don't even hear it no more.
And it's because you're superstitious.
Superstitious.
Diamador, this is the crazy. I've done a lot of
lazy
crazy
porch
things. I've heard a
pirate
lot.
is what he
This is the craziest thing I've ever heard. I literally
don't
want
even know what
to
that
scratch my skin off because I keep hearing this noise and you don't even hear it.
But she would like for that chirp to keep her awake all night.
Yes.
If he might be interested.
Diamador.
Diamador. Yeah, I know. I heard her say it there, and I was like, oh yeah, I meant to rewatch the clip because I didn't remember how to say this guy's name. But shame on me for not knowing Diamador's name. All right, so that's on me. I'm the bad guy.
That's
Bubs,
not
so that's
the
not
name.
All right.
We've
got a quick moment in broadcasting history, and we'll get out of here.
Flashback.
WATB. Way back into time. Let's find out who are these broadcast histories.
Last week, there was a mild earthquake in LA, not really noteworthy for those of us who live here, as evidenced by the way that ESPN host Malika Andrews handled it on air. She went right back to the topic she was discussing.
It was so much fun to see, particularly the crowd sort of getting behind as we have a bit of an earthquake here in Los Angeles. So we're just going to make sure that our studio lights, everything stays safe, everything's shaking. You good, Mylan? Everybody good? All right. Thank you so much for bearing with us through that. Our studio was shaking just a little bit. Tarsi, if you're still good in the studio and everyone's still good. All right. So this is what I want to show you now. Rebecca, I appreciate
it. Goes back to her conversation with Rebecca Lobo. All right. So
fucking pro.
That is a pro. And it gives me an excuse to share my favorite earthquake clip of all time. A local anchor named Kent Shockneck, who at the time was on KNBC Channel 4 here in LA. And this is a short clip, but it's nowhere near as smooth.
I'm not sure which.
I'm going to get under this desk. I apologize for the theatrics.
Shock neck.
Okay. This is live. This is what's happening right now. And a word to the folks in the control room, if you're going to swear, we can hear it on the air, so we'll try to keep a sense of decorum. Christine?
Yeah. By the way, if we could hear the people in the control room swearing, we would have played this clip on our first show. But that's how long earthquakes usually last in LA, just to let people know. You know how he gets under the desk for like a half second, and then by the time you're under the desk, it's over. But I do love this. All right. This is happening. This is live on the air. Everybody stay calm. The only one not calm is you, Ken.
Right. Is shock neck. Way to go, shock neck.
Is definitely shock neck. Well, that is our show. I want to make sure that we got to all the super chats. Obviously, we have the super sticker, so that's hardly a way to sign off, but I will put it up while, Eric, you give your plugs where people can find you.
Oh, my God. Thank you. I think I want to talk about my spot on Cameo.
Yeah, sure.
So mine costs $20. Cameo.com/Eric Zane is where you go. And they're fun. I can roast. I can be as mean or as polite as you want me to be. And there you go. They're usually fairly long. And I have a lot of fun with them. So there you go.
If somebody wants you to speak out to the porch pirates in their life, would you be willing to do that?
I would absolutely. I mean, I can do whatever you like me to do, except for make me say something that's really racist.
No, that's my job here on this show.
Yes,
and I'm not going to lie. I'm a little disappointed in all of you. Dust Cloud got the closest, but that's not our high dollar amount. So we're going to have that. So Eric, that's what Cameo is one place that people can find you, but they'll also be able to find you at the Magic Bag. That's not in Detroit, right? It's outside of Detroit.
It's suburban Detroit, Ferndale, Michigan.
Ferndale, Michigan. Carl and the gang are probably not going to Detroit proper. I feel like that's, but you never know. I know. I say that, and I know Carl just went to go see Corey Feldman and Limp Bizkit in Detroit. So WATP Live for tickets to that. I look forward to hopefully being able to watch that on the stream, just like I could of Dabblecon, and that is all the time we have for now. You can find me over my personal podcast, The Blattcast, BLADTCAST, and I'm on Instagram and X at Christian DMZ. As I mentioned earlier, in a little bit more than 1 hour, Carl will be doing an emergency episode with a wrap-up of Dabblecon 2. That's 4 p.m. Eastern, and I believe the creep-off is at 7 p.m. Eastern. If it's not, blame me. Don't take it out on Carl.
Well,
I'm just passing along the information that I have.
Just know that this show will be better than both of those.
I mean, it's going to be more racist than either one, right? I mean, I don't know. It depends if they got Kumia clips. We'll have to find. Tune in. Figure out which of the three shows on Who Are These Podcasts YouTube channel was the most racist today. But in light of that, for now, this is Christian Bladt reminding you that every mic is a hot mic, and Tim Walz looks like Dennis Rader, the BTK killer.